all the headlines are saying, ooh, China's found a way around the trade war. They're saying, oh, we're exposing, they're mocking American companies. They're exposing their tactics.
I think they're more mocking Americans.
What I'm saying is the narrative online right now is, oh my gosh, you guys, these people in China are exposing the truth. We've all been played, and you can actually just buy from them direct.
Some say as long as there's a tag saying made in China, the bag can never be luxury. However, in fact, more than 80% of the luxury bags in the world are made in China.
I like this one.
If you want to import from China, make sure you visit right places. Saxophone, Tianjin, Goosedown, Lu'an, Wi-Fi module, Shenzhen, dinosaur sculptures, Zigong.
If you want to import from China, gotta look in the right places. Dinosaur sculptures.
It's it feels right for them to mock us.
Oh my goodness. Welcome back, everybody. What a week, huh? What a week. What a week. Wow, you look so blue, Dabudia. Blue Dabudia.
If I was green, I would die. Those aren't the actual lyrics, but it was fun to
What
say.
are the lyrics?
I don't think that. I mean, who knows?
I don't think there are
No one
lyrics.
knows the lyrics.
Boy, that song had a grip. That song had a grip on us in 2000 or 1999, whenever it was. Well, folks, first off, got to give a huge shout out to the good people of Portland, Oregon. We had a great,
Oh yeah, big salute.
big, crunchy salute to all the hippies in Portland.
Another sold out show. Very fun. What a trip.
Yeah, the projector there stunk. Man, oh man. Nobody from the venue knows. They can't hear us.
But that reminds us, we're going to be Austin already sold out, which is great. So it sold out very quickly. We added a second show the next night. We're going to be there again. The ticket link for the new show is going to be in there. If you weren't able to get tickets for Austin, get them. That's going to be, I think the first show is May 8th and the second show is Thursday, May 8th and Friday, May 9th.
Or it might be Thursday, May 7th, Friday, May 8th.
Whatever it is, if you click the link, it'll tell you.
We also have a show coming in Denver.
Denver as well is live now. That's on June 1st. Okay.
Sunday, God's Day.
God's Day.
We're going to be celebrating the Sabbath and keeping it holy.
June 1st. We'll be in Denver. Second show in Austin. Regular show in Denver.
Yeah.
Come get your ticks.
Denver, you don't get a second show unless you sell it out really quickly.
They only do shows in New York. Crowd is silent right now. I'll say that.
All the haters, all the naysayers, they're eating crow. Hope the crow tastes good. And hey, by the way, do us a favor. Give this video a thumbs up. That helps us out a lot. And why don't you go ahead and leave a comment? Let us know how what you think, what you like about all this wacky China market stuff, because we care about what you think and we read them all.
We love those likes and comments.
Yeah.
Please feed them to us.
Greetings to any new viewers or listeners out there. We had a heck of an interview with Jem Carson on the Weekend Rip on last week on Friday. And man, oh man, it was good. And we hope to have him on again soon. Man, we're just going to be traveling all over the dang place, because then we got New York coming up.
Yeah, we're going to be all over the dang place. We really are. And it's going to be okay. We're going to be...
I'm tired already.
Yeah.
I got to find someone to watch Doug. Oh, jeez. I have someone.
This is what we do for you guys.
Yeah, this is what we do. We abandon our animals. I've abandoned my child. I've abandoned my son. Ah, jeez. Anyway, should we get right into it?
We should get right into it. We're going to be talking about more of this ongoing trade war stuff. I'm sorry if you're not a big trade war guy, but or girl. But I'm sorry. I'm glued to the dang screen. I'm absolutely fascinated.
I had to peel them off.
Every day, I'm just watching the global economy reorient itself. And
whoa. Careful. You mean re-Asian itself?
Reorient itself. And
okay. We don't say that anymore, but...
I'm gobsmacked, frankly.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
That is fair. You are gobsmacked. Yeah.
Not to be confused with the band Godsmack. I have no affiliation.
What song was theirs?
Gobsmack by Godsmack, which was confusing a lot of people, for a lot of people.
I like a band that makes a song out of their one of their tracks is the band name.
Oh, dude! Especially when it's the album name too.
Oh, geez.
Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath on the album Black Sabbath.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Or
wow. I'm glad you were ready to go with these.
I believe it's
AC/DC.
No, but there's
Mudvayne.
Who sings? I'm hot blooded. Check it and see.
I got a fever.
No, maybe it's not them. Oh, Bad Company by Bad Company on the album Bad Company.
Yeah. Wow.
Those are incredible. I know there's more out there. There's some guy typing furiously. What about the one?
My favorite piece of trivia is asking baseball heads the names of the or NBA basketball heads, people with basketballs for heads. I like asking them if they know all 4 of the teams that aren't plural, that are singular. For example, Miami Heat, Oklahoma City Thunder, and I can't name any others right now because I don't remember them. But people do be remembering them.
Yeah, the LA Laker.
The LA Laker, yeah, used to be the Minnesota Lakers. I
the
think.
New York Knick.
Yeah,
I think there's actually quite a few
that are singular.
Yep.
Yeah.
Milwaukee Buck.
I'm singular. Remember Singular Wireless? This is just going to be a nostalgia episode.
Let's go.
Washington Mutual. So let's get right into a market update, shall we? Because last week was one for the history books, and boy, oh boy, did it. It sucked, and then it rocked. We were so over, then so back, then kind of so over again, and now we're kind of not sure whether we're over or back, and that's okay because this trade war just keeps continuing. But that's why you keep it tuned in here. Well, we'll keep you abreast of all the different things. We're going to keep you so abreast. You're going to be craving a bra. You're going to be needing one of these things. Unless you don't like to wear a bra. Anyway, last week, Donald Trump tweeted on Wednesday. Or was it Tuesday? It was Tuesday or Wednesday. He tweeted, "Now's a good time."
It was Wednesday.
It was Wednesday. Like I said, he tweeted, "Now is a good time to buy DJT." He was signing off with his initials, which was kind of inexplicable. But then he had also tweeted, "Be cool. Be cool. Everything is going to work out well. The USA will be bigger and better than ever before." He tweeted that first at 6:36 a.m. local time or Pacific time. And then that's when he, shortly thereafter, he tweeted the thing about now being a good time to buy. And myself and everybody else in the investing community, trading world thought, boy, this is pathetic.
Hey, even outside of the trading world, I was like, what a fucking loser.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Dang. What were you doing? You're just keeping up?
I'm just a Twitter guy, you know?
Yeah. You mean X?
No, I'll never call it
I'll
X.
never call it X.
You'll have to pry Twitter from my cold dead hands,
Yeah,
Elon.
I'm never, ever going to call it that. So then 15 minutes later, he puts a pause. The White House announces a 90-day pause on pretty much everything tariff-wise, except for China. And boy, did everything absolutely rally.
China got more, in fact.
Yeah.
They said, you know what, China, you can have a little more.
Yeah, you can take a little more. And since then, China has said, we're not even going to bother putting...
I know. They're like, we're not playing your baby games.
Yeah, there's no reason because it's already halting everything. It's such a mess. It's such a damn mess, folks. And China's trying to work with Vietnam and work with some of these other Southeast Asian companies.
Oh, they're going all over.
Countries.
Xi is on the move. He's like us. He's like us doing B&E lives, but he's doing B&E deals.
Did he add a second date to Vietnam?
Yeah. He's like, you know what?
I'm coming back.
We're cutting a lot of deals. Let's
run it back.
Let's add another night.
So, the NASDAQ had its biggest rally since 2001. This is off the heels of it having one of its worst days ever. And that's how it goes in these bear markets, man. These bears, they swipe down and then they perk back up and then they swipe back down. They bounce, they tank, they bounce, they tank, yada, 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 bing, ba-bo. It's exhausting. I'm especially ticked off because that means now we actually have to listen to the shit that he says and that he tweets. We got to pay close attention. Is this something that he's telegraphing? Is this something that we can take? It's just you're constantly on your stupid heels. And, okay, but just let me get it out. I saw a clip of Bill Maher talking about.
Pause.
Don't like Bill Maher, but I saw a clip because he was talking about how Kid Rock had invited him to the White House.
Yeah, and he's like, I actually think Trump's a great guy now.
Did you watch the video?
I just saw like a
clip.
clip.
He basically says, the guy that I met in
That's
the
a pretty
White.
good Maher.
Thanks. If only I could make my nose bigger. You know what I mean, babe?
Then you became Dennis
babe.
Miller for a second.
Hey, listen, babe. He talks about how
I had the guy all wrong.
Yeah, I had the guy all wrong.
You're
Listen,
such a loser.
The guy that you see on TV isn't the guy that I met at the White House. Now take that with whatever grain of salt or sand or whatever you want to call it, however you want to take it. But all I'm saying is he was a great guy. He was a nice, okay, I get what he's saying, which is that, okay, the persona that we see is not at all the persona running things behind the scenes. And I don't know if that...
How's that supposed to help me when he's just destabilizing the global economy? He's just spitting in the face of a Supreme Court order, a unanimous Supreme Court order.
But listen, that's not who he is, really.
Talking about on a hot mic how he wants to get rid of homegrowns next, and he needs a Bukele to build more torture camps. I mean,
you need 5 more, he said.
But I'm just supposed to be like, oh well, Bill Maher said he's actually kind of nice behind closed doors. So
yeah, don't worry, that's not who he really is. So that's one thing that I'm now taking. I mean, I always kind of figured that. I always kind of assumed that he isn't such a bloviating ass pimple, But still, it doesn't matter who he is behind the scenes. Hitler could have been a real great guy.
Look, I had dinner
Hitler
with
loved dogs.
the Fuhrer, okay?
He wasn't who he seems.
He was pretty nice, frankly.
He wasn't that. He was a lot more calm.
That's what all it takes with all these guys. They're like, that guy was nice to me.
Yeah. It's not a big deal. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Harvey Weinstein was a sweetheart to me. He didn't try to sexually assault me.
He made my movie.
Yeah. Jeff Epstein never asked me for a massage. I don't know what all the hubbub is about. Hey, gang, we want to take a quick break to thank one of our sponsors. It's OpenPhone. Listen, gang. You got a business, you got a small business of any size, really. Communication is everything. Communication is key. Sometimes you miss calls, you miss messages, and that's no good because you miss out on huge sales. Well, that's where OpenPhone comes into play. OpenPhone is the #1 business phone system that streamlines and scales your customer communications. It works through an app on your phone or computer. So there's no more carrying 2 phones or using a landline.
With OpenPhone, your team can share one number and collaborate on customer calls and texts like a shared inbox.
Very
that
cool.
way, any teammate can pick up right where the last person left off, keeping response times faster than ever. Plus, with AI-powered call transcripts and summaries, you'll be able to automate follow-ups, ensuring you'll never miss a customer interaction again.
So, whether you're a one-person operation drowning in calls and texts, or you have a large team that needs better collaboration tools, OpenPhone is a no-brainer. So see why over 50,000 businesses trust OpenPhone to manage their business's calls and texts.
OpenPhone is offering our listeners 20% off of your first 6 months at openphone.com/base. That's OPENPHONE.com/base. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, no missed customers.
So, anyway.
Wait, what did the Bill Maher have to do with?
Just just speaking on how it kind of for a brief moment it assuaged my fears. Like, oh, okay, maybe the guy.
You saw Bill Maher do that, and you were like,
hang on,
hey, we might be able to pull out of this.
Wait. I thought, okay, maybe if he's actually sane and normal, quote unquote, behind the scenes, maybe there is something to be said about what he does in public.
There is actually a plan with all this.
Sure, maybe. That I was I was drinking whatever Kool-Aid they were putting in front of me. I'm
sure, maybe this is.
It was copium. I was injecting it straight into my veins.
A hit of hopium.
Yeah.
And You would take it from anywhere you could get it.
Yeah, I'm fiending, baby. Hey, you got any more of that hopium? Jesus Christ, my skin is crawling.
Hey, Bill, did you have dinner with anyone lately?
So anyway, Trump tweeted that shit, truthed it, tweeted it, and the market rallied, and people knew. Like that's what bothers me the most is it was probably the biggest.
That's what bothers Ben the most, the insider trading of it all.
Well, I mean, I just in that one little thing, one little this one little part of this entire shitstorm is that obviously it's so out and not even out in the open, but it's just so painfully obvious. A guy is corrupt and just has no regard for rules and laws and stuff, and just finds a way to excuse any and all kind of questionable behavior as being within the scope of his abilities and his legal rights as a fucking head of state. I don't know. People made money on this. Tens of millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
There was a ton of options trades that went off that same day expiration, meaning they needed the S&P 500 to make a big move on that same day. And I mean, it's a bit of a head scratcher and would be pretty coincidental if it was just someone out there going, man, I think today might be a good day for a huge bounce.
You know, I'm a big truth guy, and I like what Donald says. It's a nice time to buy. Let's get in there.
Roll the dice. Let's see. But it's going to be next to it. It would be impossible to, number one, find who made these trades, and number two, do anything in the court of law to prosecute them, at least while this guy's in office. So, in other words, it ain't going to happen. And it's just another instance of the cruel man winning. But I also think that there's something to be said for the fact that he tweeted that first, because some of those trades went off after he tweeted.
Deniability.
Yeah, like, hey, I was just buying it because the president said now's a good time to buy.
And I do what the president says. I'm a good American.
I do what the president says. Everybody should try to suck their own dick.
And I don't know if you heard, Bill Maher said he's actually not like that behind closed doors. So you know,
where did Bill Maher fucking come from? Was he always just a stand-up? Is that what he was before?
Yeah,
he was never like an actor.
No, but he had that weird
face.
That weird political show on ABC forever. It was like, I'm never going to remember what it's called, but it was like he would have a little panel. He would have comedians on to talk about political stuff.
On ABC?
I'm almost positive.
Wow, interesting.
I mean, don't take my word for that, Bill.
I never take your word for
Politically Incorrect.
Politically Incorrect.
That's what it was called. Yeah.
Boy, that's an easy
Politically
title.
Incorrect with Bill Maher.
Oh, man. Guys, I got a great title for this show. Politically Incorrect. You know exactly what you're going to get. You do. That man is politically incorrect. He really says what he's thinking.
He's a weird guy. He's like,
a super weird guy.
I think he gets all of his romantic needs met with just sex workers.
Bill Maher?
Mm-hmm.
Is he like open about it?
Yeah, I think so.
I pay these girls to suck me off.
It makes sense. Can you imagine a woman finding anything kind of redeemable about him?
I mean, sure.
Apparently, he does have a very large dick, though.
Really?
That's what one of the
sex workers
said. Yeah.
I wonder how much he paid her to say that.
Who knows?
Man, I would just die if I had a Macroponus.
It wouldn't be nice, no.
Oh my God!
I like when you make it sound Greek.
What? Oh, Macroponus.
Yeah.
Yeah, he and then there's the famous clip. Should we play it? His friends made money.
No. Everybody's
seen it. We know he was talking about. He was standing there with his chums in the White House saying, "This guy made $2 billion, $1 billion."
And he made $2.5 billion today.
I did like this.
It is a funny thing to crash it all and then reverse course on your dumb policy and let everything go back up and be like how much money I made.
Yeah. Man, these guys, I guess just real fast, I want to insert a bit of an editorial. Not that we ever do editorials on this program, but if you're worried about this and it bothers you like it does us.
Worried about
just
what?
All this, like this corruption,
trade war stuff,
and trade war stuff. I wish I could, because some people at the Portland show who came up to us afterward were so sweet, and they were like, the things that you guys have said just throughout the history of making this show have changed my life for the better and had a very positive impact on me. So there's a part of me that wants to be, not that that's responsibility falls on us, but like a voice of reason and some soothing anecdotes or something. Because it really does suck. My mom has been asking me, like, what should I do with my money and all this? And I just hope that just try to, and this is for myself too, because I have an underlying sense of anxiety just bubbling beneath the surface at all times. Don't you?
Yeah.
Like right now, it's not the cold brew. It's not the Zins. I bought another puck of Zins. Fuck me. But it's just a constant feeling of fright.
Yeah, it's the people in charge right now are not only cruel, but they seem very stupid as well.
Yeah, which is a terrible combination.
And yeah, I mean, when I say like, if I think we're reorienting the way global trade works and everything, I don't think it's going to orient in a way that's good for us. I think we're, I mean, as we're going to get into, them crying foul about America getting a raw deal on all this stuff is just so absurd.
Oh yeah, we've been getting the best deal.
Yes,
we've been winning. We've been absolutely fucking killing.
Not to say that's fair but I mean, you're just watching people shoot themselves in the foot for fun and maybe profit as well. I think some people are going to profit off this.
I don't know. Is it fucking boredom? Who knows? But anyway, just so, hey Ben, try to calm down. Just live your life. Stay healthy as best you can. Eat right. Don't drink. Don't smoke. Stop doing them Zins, buddy. Go for a walk, folks.
Or you could always read. I've been revisiting Magda Goebbels's the letter she wrote her other son who was off fighting in the war. Right before she killed herself and her 6 children in Hitler's bunker. It's a good reminder like that. I think it might take a while, but these people will get it. And it's a good read, and they know they're horrible, and they know they're unwelcome in this world, and they will get what they deserve.
Yeah. Jesus. I like that, buddy. That's good. Yeah, and always remember that eventually all of us will be dead. None of us will be remembered. We will be forgotten when the heat death of the universe eventually consumes all matter and the light extinguishes. But anyway, so part of Trump's plan, we know that their focus was getting the yield on the 10-year bond down. Now, I just need to emphasize this because you'll probably see a lot about the bond market, and we're going to get to the China stuff in just a moment, but bonds are very important, folks. They're very, 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 very boring, but the bond market is like 4 times, 5 times bigger than the stock market. A lot more money in bonds, and all you got to know basically is that bonds are important, and they needed the yield on the bond to come down, in particular the 10-year. They want it to come down, and that didn't happen. In fact, 10-year bonds, their yields climbed while stocks were dropping, which is like the 2 things that they didn't want to happen. It was not good. Those bonds hit 4.47%. Off the back of the steepest 3-day climb since 2001.
And some from the Trump administration tried to say like, no, it has nothing to do with the stock market, the bond market. And then Trump just came out and was like, I was looking at the bonds.
Yeah. I didn't like what I saw. People were panicking, and that's not good.
He was saying they were getting a little yippy.
Yeah, something like that. Hey, gang, we want to take another quick break to thank another sponsor of the show. It's SelectQuote. Listen. There are so many things in life we just never get around to. Taking up that hobby you wanted to start, cleaning out the garage, little things that don't really make a huge difference in our lives. Yet there's one thing that most of us have probably been neglecting that can have a huge impact on our family's future. It's life insurance. And with SelectQuote, getting covered with the right policy for you is easier and more affordable than you may think.
Other life insurance brokers offer impersonal one-size-fits-all policies that may cost you more and cover you less, while SelectQuote's licensed insurance agents work for you to tailor a life insurance policy for your individual needs in as little as 15 minutes. And have you ever worried about getting coverage with a pre-existing health condition?
I know I have.
SelectQuote partners with carriers that provide policies for a variety of health conditions. Isn't that nice?
Yeah. High blood pressure? No problem. Diabetes? That's fine. Even if you have heart disease, SelectQuote partners with carriers that can cover those conditions and others. Or
and if you don't have any major health issues,
Yeah.
they work with carriers that can get you same-day coverage with no medical exam required. Head to selectquote.com and a licensed insurance agent will call you right away with the right policy for your life and your budget.
That's right. Get the right life insurance for you for less at selectquote.com/Bays. Go to selectquote.com/Bays today to get started. That's selectquote.com/Bays. So why is this important that the bond yields are climbing? Well, it basically translates to a loss of confidence in the United States government because bonds are usually seen, especially United States Treasury bonds, are seen as the safest thing in the world that you can put your money into. And what's happening right now is investors are demanding more of a yield, more of a return to hold Treasury bonds because they're seeing them as becoming more and more risky. So the higher the risk, hey, United States government, fork it over, cough it up. It means that trust is eroding a little bit in the United States. Because again, think about it like a credit card interest rate. Credit card company is going to offer you a lower interest rate depending on how trustworthy you are. Or you got a friend who's hooked on kratom. You know, he's just like fiending for another hit of that sweet legal weird kratom. You know that shit?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm going through withdrawals. This shit's intense. I need more kratom. I just need to borrow $500. You're going to charge him a high interest rate.
Yeah. I don't know
Unless
if
he
you're
was trustworthy and he was trying to buy something else, like, I don't know, pen and paper to write his manifesto.
right. If your
You'd be
friend
like, I
just
trust you.
completely had it together and he was like, I think I'd like some kratom. You'd be like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, but if he's like fiending. So yeah, that's what's bad. Anyway, those higher yields mean higher costs to borrow for companies, which is not good because that slows the economy down, which is arguably kind of good for getting inflation down. But then it's also higher costs to borrow for the government. And there you have it. So when you start to see headlines about 10-year yields going up, just remember that that's not good. We want them to go down. And we'll see if that fucking happens. Jim Carson, who was just on the show on Friday, thinks that we're going to double or triple from here on those 10-year bonds. So that's not good.
In a
while, in like 5 years.
Not
anytime soon.
soon.
But still, that's
I know, but just saying that
Yeah.
makes it seem like tomorrow.
Yeah. No, that's not good. All right. You want to shift gears, dude? It's been a while.
Yeah, let's shift gears.
No, shift gears. Do the thing. You hit the clutch.
I can't. My foot won't reach.
He's a bad bus driver.
I'm a bad bus driver.
Yeah. I actually hadn't been on TikTok because we were in Portland and I hadn't checked, but a bunch of Chinese people from these factories in China are just exploding on TikTok.
We're being taunted. It feels very reminiscent of, and we deserve it. It feels very reminiscent of the TikTok ban days where people were making their way over to Red Note. I forget how you say it in the actual Chinese one. It was like Zhaojin or something.
Zhaojin.
I don't know. And people were going like, what? This is what China's like? This is what Chinese people are like?
Yeah.
What? The government lied to us? And Chinese manufacturers are offering deals. I believe it's in a joking manner for the most part.
Really? Joking?
I think it's mostly taunting. I think it's
Whoa.
so, but they're basically saying like, look, there have been a couple of high profile examples. One, there was a woman at we might as well play them, but the Lululemons, they're basically saying, look,
right.
we make all this stuff for you for very cheap in our factories. You guys get raked over the coals. We make this thing for $5 and then Lululemon or whoever imports it paying very little. And then you guys pay like $100 or $150.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is this? Yeah.
Who are the suppliers behind Lululemon? Some of their yoga wears are actually from Xianglong Clothing and Hongqisheng Clothing. And guess what? Both factories located in Yiwu here. And these two factories also supply clothing for Fila and Under Armour. I guess most of you know the price of Lululemon or other big brands. They sell you a legging pants for $100. And guess what? Here in these two factories, you can get them for around $5 to $6. Crazy. And what's even better? The material and the craftsmanship are basically the same because they all come the same production line. See, this is why people come to China and looking for the OEM factory because they just can get the cheapest and best quality product from there and sell you, I don't know how much. All right, guys, if you want to know more about Lululemon or any other active wear brands, leave your message in the comment section. I'm Luna, your reliable sourcing partner.
You know, we ought to actually buy some of this stuff and do a comparison. That might be a good idea. Why not?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's the same. Like this stuff is all manufactured in China. I don't think.
Well, go ahead.
I don't think. Wait, isn't there another one? I want to watch it before you.
Well, hang on. Well, oh, yeah. Wait, I just want to.
What do you want?
Preface this with.
But yes, so to my point, I don't think she's actually being serious. I don't think she really wants people to reach out to her and then like start.
We don't. Well, so that's the thing. So all the headlines are saying, "Ooh, China's found a way around the trade war," and it's a way to kind of not only stick it to American companies and the U.S. government by proxy,
but they don't really have a way around that. So I think the only realistic thing they could do is there was a waiver for things coming in. It could be up to like, I forget what the number is, like $800 or whatever, without getting hit on all these tariffs. It's for big suppliers, right? So you can just send things without having to
pay the tariff.
Yeah, pay taxes and all these different things. That waiver is going away on May 2nd. It's not like you're going to be able to.
Well, some
but that waiver has been taken off and put on, because it causes a huge backlog of all these things that now, all these small packages that.
Well, and part of the thing that these Chinese TikTokers and the companies at these various manufacturing facilities and suppliers in China is they're saying, oh, we're exposing, they're mocking American companies, they're exposing their tactics. We already basically knew that shit was made there on the cheap and then upsold here. We knew that.
I think they're more mocking Americans.
Oh, wow. I mean, they definitely were.
Not mocking, like, I don't think people really think about this that much, right? I think everyone kind of knows, like, oh, sure, they make it over there because it's cheaper, whatever. Yeah. I don't think they really realize, like, because I mean, how can you mock the manufacturer? I mean the actual American company. They have the greatest deal in the world. Mm-hmm. They buy these units so cheaply and then sell them to dumb America. Like, we buy the cheapest shit.
Right.
And if it wears out, we just buy another one.
What I'm saying is the narrative online right now is, oh my gosh, you guys, the Chinese, these people in China are exposing the truth. We've all been played. And you can actually just buy from them direct, because that's what a lot of them are advertising. Like, hey, just buy from us direct, Americans. You can get these leggings for $6. Just contact us. And some of these exporters are also suggesting that importers lie about the kind of like how if you buy or sell a used car, you'll play ball with each other and be like, hey, can you just put the price as like $500? It's something like that, but that's highly illegal. They were some people were making fun of.
We would never do that kind of thing.
They were making use. Of course, you saw the AI images of like those super overweight Americans making shoes and stuff in a factory. That was funny, but they're. So there was. It started with this viral TikTok from this guy who's claiming that 80% of luxury bags. It started with the luxury bags. They're saying that they're like 80% are made in China. And that the majority is done in China, and that all that happens is they then get shipped off with the repackaging and the branding done elsewhere. So let's play that China wants to make a deal with you, because this is what people are saying. Please go look up your favorite brand and China warehouse on TikTok. They are really fighting back. They said those leggings y'all pay $100 for at Lululemon, we'll sell it to you for $5 and help you get it back to the States. So like that's this narrative that's 13.6 million views. People really think this, and it's not accurate, because
What part is inaccurate?
Well, so like there's all these videos that claim, hey, we'll sell it to you direct. This is
No, but what part of that is inaccurate?
I don't think that they're it's not exactly so like she said, similar to Lululemon. It's not the same quality. It really isn't. And so like the main guy, let's play this one. This is kind of the big one.
Some say as long as there's a tag saying made in China, the bag can never be luxury. However, in fact, more than 80% of the luxury bags in the world are made in China.
Pause it for 1 second. I do think this is very different though than the leggings thing.
Yeah.
He's talking about luxury bags.
Yeah.
And like luxury bags that are made in supposedly, like if you want to talk about the Birkin bag or Hermes or whatever, made in France, like skilled artisans, whatever, versus a Chinese factory. They're talking about Lululemon leggings being made in the same factory. It just might not have your Lululemon tag on it or whatever. That feels very different.
Yeah. Well, so this guy's thing with the luxury stuff is he's saying this is where people's brains kind of suck at this. Because a lot of people think, oh, fucking Birkin bags are actually made in China and they're like repackaging. Not true. Most of these luxury brands, they are actually made where they say they are. They do still mark it up tremendously, but they are made by artisans and whatnot. He, in particular, this guy about the bags, he's saying you can buy a comparable one from us in China. And what's the difference?
Which I don't know if this is a great example. I think the Lululemon one is a great example where you're basically getting, and not only Lululemon, so many products that you're familiar with.
Nike.
They're saying, take off the tags, you got the same thing.
Hey gang, we got to take another quick break to thank our oldest, most favorite sponsor. Huge shout out to Glenn. Huge shout out to MOOMOO. I've been trading for a long time. And I've been dealing with a lot of crummy everything. Crummy brokers, crummy news services, crummy charting, you name it. Not anymore, thanks to MOOMOO. MOOMOO's got everything I need all wrapped into one beautiful, tidy little app. It's so great. They got everything I could possibly need, including and especially, number one, charting. Trend projections. They got all the different time frames that I could possibly need, all the different indicators, everything, moving averages, you name it, MACD, RSI. They got it all under one roof. They've also got the news feeds that I need to keep up to date on everything that's going on, whether it's insider information with SEC filings, the latest headlines. Why are you going to pay for something else like Bloomberg or Wall Street Journal when you can just get it for free right there in MOOMOO? And above all else, what I like the most, $0 fees. That's right. ETFs, stocks, it's all zero commission. Whereas, at other brokerages that I was using before, they're charging you money every trade. Not with MOOMOO, baby. Not with MOOMOO. And if you're new to the whole trading thing, new to the whole investing thing, they got you covered because you can just play around with fake money, right? They got paper trading, folks. You can just get in there, click around on some buttons, just whet your appetite a little bit. See if flirt with it a little bit. Dip your toes in the water. It's okay. It's warm. Jump right in at your own leisure. And right now, they got a pretty good deal to entice you even further with the new user promos.
Yeah, if you want to jump in, it's going to be pretty warm because the best part about this welcome bonus, 8.1% APY. That's their 4.1% APY base rate plus a 4% extra for the first 3 months. Now, we also got to talk about these free stocks, all right? Ooh. Deposit $100, you're going to get 5 free stocks. That's a pretty good deal, right? That's probably good enough. Wrong. Deposit $2,000 and you get 25 free stocks.
Holy moly.
And it'd be crazy if there was any more. Oh my God, if you deposit $5,000, you're going to get 60 free stocks.
Jeez Louise.
Jeez Louise is right. You can also earn a 3% match for your first transfer amount, and that match amount is limited to the first $20,000 up to $600.
All right, folks. So you ready to take your trading to the next level? Join over 25 million users worldwide and start trading smarter with MOOMOO. Sign up using the link in the description, make a qualified deposit, and claim those rewards now.
I've seen the dye workwear guy who had his whole thread about artisans and the way things are stitched and all that stuff. Because he's saying like, look, we have the same materials and we can make them for you and all that stuff. And that kind of luxury item is just a very different thing in general because it's people aren't buying tons of those things. They're like very specialty, whatever. The real place people are getting ripped off on is these things where they literally cost, $3 to $5 to make. You have to pay $100 to $200 for it.
Yeah.
And you can get basically the same exact thing. Also, I like the whole knock-on effects of this is so funny though, because even if that guy's wrong, if you click on any of these tweets and kind of go through the threads, they have destroyed some of the credibility on some of these luxury brands because like the damage is done. People are going like, no, I'm pretty sure like they just get manufactured in China and they get sent back to France or Italy or wherever and they slap on a label. And you cannot, I saw the dye workwear guy doing his damnedest to like, here's a Vanity Fair article where they talk about the Hermes factories all over France. And they're like, no, you think I'm going to believe Vanity Fair?
Yeah.
They're
in the pocket of Vogue group or something.
And he's posting French YouTube videos of them going through the factories and everything. They've really done a lot of brand damage to a lot of a lot of different companies.
That's the thing. Can you click the catchy tune one? So there's so many of these accounts now. I like this one.
From China, make sure you visit right places. Ukulele, Huiyang, candles, Ningjing, tires, Qingdao, wallpapers, Shaoxing, barbecue grease, Foshan, electric tricycle, Xuzhou, walkie-talkies, Xiamen, charging cables and chargers, Shenzhen.
Man, that is a catchy tune. You can't deny how catchy that is.
You cannot deny how catchy that is.
So if you want to buy tires, electric tricycles, charging cables, I think these are, is anybody really going to be buying direct from fucking China for these things? I don't think so.
That's what I was saying. I think they're mocking us. It feels very...
Look how much manufacturing capabilities we have.
No, not like that. Okay, so click this Americans are being taunted
They
thing.
rob you blind and you thank them for it. That's a tragedy. That's a scam. That's why I'm saying this right now. Americans, you don't need a tariff. You need a revolution. For decades, your government and oligarchs ship your job to China. Not for diplomacy, not for peace, but to exploit cheap laborers. And in the process, they hollowed out your middle class, crashed your working class, and told you to be proud while they sold your future for profit. And yes, China made money, but we used it to build roads, lift millions out of poverty, fund healthcare, raise living standard. We reinvested in our people. My family also benefited from it. What did your oligarchs do? They bought yachts, private jets, mansions with golf course driveways. They manipulate the market, dodged tax, and poured billions into endless wars. And you get stagnated wages, crippling healthcare cost, cheap dopamine, debt, and flagged wave property made in China while they pick your pocket. For 40 years, both China and the United States benefit from the trade, the manufacturing, but only one of us use that wealth to build. This isn't China's fault. This is yours. You let this happen. You let the oligarchs feed you lies. Well, they made you fat, poor, and addicted. Now they blame China for mess they made. I don't think so. I don't think you need another tariff. You need to wake up. You need to take your country back. I think you need a revolution.
I thought that we took our country back through Donald Trump. I like his username, Grumpy Chinese Man.
I know, it's pretty good.
Grumpy Chinese
But
guy.
yeah, I don't know. It all just feels kind of like in that vein. Like, look at this. We make this cheap shit for you and you guys get hosed.
Yeah. Can you play Hell Yeah? It's another clip of these girls, or this
If you
girl.
want info from China, make sure you visit right places. Saxophone, Tianjin, Goosetown, Lu'an, Wi-Fi module, Shenzhen, hire accessories, Yiwu, dental equipment, Foshan, wrench and pliers, Yongkang, dinosaur sculptures, Zigong, things
Dinosaur
complete.
sculptures.
株洲
If you want to import from China,
If you want to import
Gotta
from
look-
China, I
gotta
mean,
look in the right places.
But yeah.
Dinosaur sculptures.
it's it feels right for them to mock us. I mean, as I was saying last week, I don't think Trump knows what he's doing. I think messing with China in this way is a huge mistake, and he's going to find out. I think he's already finding out.
He's kicking the dragon.
This whole move is just we have a bitch-made president with this like backing off on all this. The exemptions with the electronics. He's clearly so in over his head. And I mean, Xi Jinping seems to like at least have a plan. You know, this is from the Wall Street Journal. They're talking about like they have this whole trade war arsenal they're going to be using. Tools that Beijing has already used and is likely to expand include export controls of critical materials American companies use to make chips and defense-related products, regulatory investigations designed to intimidate and penalize U.S. companies, blacklists intended to bar U.S. businesses from selling to China. In addition, authorities are preparing new ways to pressure American companies to give up their crown jewels, intellectual property, or lose access to Chinese market. And this is from Evan Medeiros. He's a Georgetown University professor. China has systematically put together a new arsenal of tools that's intended to minimize the cost to China and maximize the pain on the U.S. They're prepared in a way that gives them an asymmetric advantage in the trade war. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think Trump is just like finding out he doesn't have, as he said to, who's the Ukraine?
Zelensky?
As he said to Zelensky, you don't have the cards, Trump. I really don't think, I mean.
Well, the cards are made in China, dude.
I mean, did you see the Boeing stuff?
Yeah, they today, as of this recording, they halted the import of parts.
And they're gonna renege on their deals to bring in more Boeing planes.
Whoa. Well, because now China has their own airplane company.
Yeah, is it Comac?
I think so. Which is funny because Xi Jinping's official, there you go, the Comac 919.
Yeah, I mean.
But, this is interesting. Look at that.
This is just, it's all so crazy. So much of this is being made about the manufacturing jobs. They're so desperate to bring back to the U.S. Obviously, this whole thing is so frustrating to follow because of the tremendous amount of contradictions that comes along with all this stuff. Now with the electronics exemptions, it's like you can bring in these foreign electronics, iPhones that are made in China, whatever else made in China, Japan, you can bring them in. But to bring in the parts that you need to manufacture those things, no exemptions. So I don't quite know where it adds up, how those are going to help manufacturing jobs in America. I mean, this is another one where this is going to have a huge impact on Boeing. They say that China in the next few decades is going to make up 20 to 25% of the airplane market.
And they already have us beat on ships.
Now that's all currently going to, they're going to start routing all those purchase orders to Airbus, and they're going to keep investing in their own Comac C919 and
Comac McCarthy.
Not only that, other companies have already talked about starting to invest in those Comacs. The guy from Ryanair had a very funny quote. It's the head of Ryanair who said he walked it back later because I think he got in some trouble, but that he'd be fully open to buying some C-19s. He said, the Chinese are basically building a fucking A320. If it was cheap enough, 10% or 20% cheaper than an Airbus aircraft, then we'd order it. It's just all of these norms are just going to fall away. It's just, and I don't know. I mean, the already struggling Boeing losing a huge partner.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to help American manufacturing.
Well, and that also, when the rest of the world sees that, and if you've got, like you had there, the CEO of Ryanair, Ryanair's CEO doesn't care. Or none of these CEOs care. They just want to make as much money as possible. And if that means...
Yeah, what does an airline company care if they're using a Chinese plane or a European plane or an American plane, as long as they're saving their money? And as long as it doesn't follow the sky, which the Boeings tend to do lately.
Yeah, although we did fly in a 737 MAX, and we were fine. I was a little nervous, but it ended up being okay. Tiny bathrooms, though. Fucking goddamn, dude. Make the bathrooms just a little bit bigger, would you? But here's a good example of you being able to, let's play the laundry pods one. I like this one too.
Ben likes this one, guys.
Laundry pods you'll see on Amazon cost $15, $20, or even $30 for a pack. In Miss Long's factory, they only cost $1.6 US. We can ship to anywhere in the world, start from 1 carton. Our product can be shipped within 2 days.
Wow.
We are in cleaning industry for more than 30 years.
Wow.
We have a 10 years factory in Guangzhou. Follow Miss Long, send me a message, get free sample.
Ooh, laundry pods from Mr. Lung.
I'm so tempted. I mean, we have to contact these people and see if we can actually get
laundry
some
pods?
get some of these goods. Get some let's get some yoga pants sent to us. Let's get some Fila stuff. Let's get some laundry pods sent. I want to see how this actually works.
What's interesting is these Chinese people are also going after even Alibaba, their own. Let's play the stop using Alibaba. Because they're saying just like don't do the middleman.
Stop using Alibaba. Here are better website for sourcing factories from China for specific categories. For electronics components,
I mean, Alibaba's already dirt cheap.
For car accessories, check cheapayren.com. For industry material, gobangBang.com. For clothing, check vvic.com. For more sourcing tips,
Anyway, there's so many of these, and it's just all it's interesting too because it is on TikTok. And it's just all over the damn place. What is this really funny explanation?
So now we know why America really didn't want us to see what they was doing over in China. And if you don't know, click the search bar and see how China just exposed America. That designer that you've been spending your money on, $200, $300, $400, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, all of your hard-earned money basically been going to knockoffs. If that's what y'all want to call them, Canal Street specials. If I might say. China is basically saying that your favorite designer gets their bags, their clothes,
that he's using the music
shoes, made in China, not Italy. So when you thinking you getting the finest of threads, you getting them from China. And now China is saying that they got them for the low, like they been had them, but they just not keeping it secret no more. So what they're saying is that designer that we've been wearing, they've been making, and they make them for cheaper, and we might as well not buy that designer that we've been buying. It's kind of strange to me because a lot of people been losing their lives to get designer. It's a lot of people that lost their lives over designer.
Damn, I didn't think of that.
You're telling me that China's been making it? All I can say is this trade war is exposing the real from the fake and the fake from the real. If that makes sense. I'm out.
I like the touch of the zoom in.
Regardless of whether or not he's right, I think, like I'm saying, I think they're doing a ton of damage to brand.
Yeah. But so just to underscore how it's not exactly as it seems. There was one video where a guy, we don't have to show it here, but there was one guy in China showing, oh, we've got Birkenstocks. They're fakes because Birkenstocks are made in Germany.
That video. He does not say I have Birkenstocks.
But they look like Birkens.
The amount of companies selling fake Birkenstocks is unbelievable. I see it all the time. People, because Birkenstocks are expensive.
Yeah.
There are so many companies selling things that look just like Birkenstocks and are probably shittier quality.
What do they name them?
What?
What do they name them? Just a different name?
Yeah, they just don't call them Birkenstocks.
Gotcha.
They like selling boots that look just like Timberland boots. But I'm sure they're getting made in China for much cheaper and just sold. And people go, "What do I care? They look just like Birkenstocks, whatever." So, but those people are probably still spending anywhere from $75 to $100 instead of the like $200 to $250 on Birkenstocks. So he's saying, he doesn't say anything about Birkenstocks. He's saying, I got
these shoes.
I got the shoes you like.
Yeah, well, because
$10.
I thought that it was because the caption in this said Birkenstocks. Let's play it.
Play it. I don't think he says anything.
$10 and $10. Always $10. We have 7 colors. Look, app card, brown, pink, greens, green, black, and coffee. This is warehouse. If you need, please contact me.
Please contact me. That's so. I pulled a little bit of info here. I mentioned it before. Hermes are made in France. Each bag takes like 15 to 40 hours. Artisans train up to 5 years to learn how to make one. Prada and Miu Miu make theirs in Italy. Yves Saint Laurent makes theirs in France. Interestingly, Meta suspended accounts talking about Chinese manufacturers. So that was kind of interesting. Like, who are you running cover for?
And then made it say it was they said it was they violated some kind of copyright.
Well, and it is true. Obviously, China and Hong Kong supply a little over 40% of United States imports. 40% of footwear, 25% of all textiles and clothing came from China. It is really cool. You can. None of these companies necessarily hide it. You can pull up this Lulu supplier list. This is the Lululemon. I mean, you got to fucking zoom in. Sorry, but it shows all the different companies or all the different countries and companies within Sri Lanka, Philippines, China, Peru, Colombia, Taiwan, Egypt, Turkey, where they make whatever the fuck they're. And they show the percentage of female workers. That's interesting to me. Same thing with Nike. Nike's is kind of cool. They have an interactive map. Yeah, here's their. So zoom out. Jesus, I mean, look at that. They're truly worldwide. Let's click. China. Man, oh man. So they've got 117 factories, 107,621 workers. 58% is
70% female.
70% female, 0% migrant. 40 average age 40. It's just wild. You can truly see how the sausage is made. Just Google any company, any product, whatever that you like, and then list manufacturing, whatever. It's all over the damn place, and they show you.
I would say there's probably a lot of brands that are doing some under the table Chinese manufacturing as well, or other, locations with cheap labor.
Yeah. So it's tough. You don't know whether you're getting the actual product that's just straight from the manufacturer, or if it's just like a cheap knockoff, or if it's just comparable that they're kind of stealing. Because remember, the market for counterfeits is fucking huge. Like billions and billions of dollars a year for counterfeits. And I wanted to share with you, you guys have heard me talk about it before. When I went to Shenzhen last year. Was that last year? Jesus Christ. Yeah, that was last year. I went to the counterfeit mall, and I want to show you guys some clips. So let's play the first of all, hit the fake one. Let's play that. So I took a video of this. It just says, it's a sign that says fake and unqualified product seller. So they definitely, for some, they definitely don't hide it. And just to show you let's get out of this and go to the next one, which is size. Click size. This is how big this place was. Look at all these floors. There's like 6 floors, 6 levels, and each one is just fucking never ending and massive. You could walk around there for days and never feel like you've seen it all. But so click bags, just to show you some bags. Like this is one shop that I walked in, and they are so nice. These are Balenciaga bags. That
first one is really nice.
Oh yeah.
Not a purse guy, but I would use that.
Yeah, I mean, look at that leather, man. For the audio listener, it's a Balenciaga. Really nice. And then click Apple. Let's start with Apple. So these are some of.
And then the iWatch.
Look at this shit. They got AirTags. They've got the MagSafe charger. This is an instance, I think, where. So like these are fake, but they are coming out of like the same factory. So it's hard to.
That's what I'm saying about the Lululemon stuff. It's like, where do you draw the line with fake? I mean, it's some weird distinction that it's impossible to draw.
Right. Let's click.
I don't know if I've talked about it before. I had a friend who, when I was living in New York, they started working for this startup, and they basically were in charge of product production, and they were going to China all the time. And over the next year or so, they always had all this new clothes, new all kinds of stuff. And I'd be like, "What? Why are you getting all this like fake stuff. And they're like, it's not fake. It's from the same factory. Yeah. We all get ripped off on this stuff.
So let's click the Apple AirPods. This is just, and you can hear the guy talking.
Very good.
So he's pairing it. Look at that.
Control.
These are the fake AirPods getting recognized by the fake iPhone.
How many percent?
These are the ones you have.
Yes.
You use them. You use them all the time.
It's uncanny valley in the sense that you open the box and it's like something is just slightly off and you can't put your finger on it. And I'm like, if they're made in the same factory, what is it about? Maybe they're duds. Maybe they didn't pass quality control or something. But let's go to there's two more. There's the Apple Watch. Let's play the Apple Watch.
But do you think if you didn't know it was fake and someone just gave them to you,
you would have no idea?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's what you're talking about is maybe a mental, like, I know there's something off here and you actually can't.
I mean, look at him showing the watch.
Yeah, I'm not noticing anything off about it.
Very quickly, fast. Every language all have. Very good.
He just keeps going, very good, very good. But show the iPhone. Like, this is the next one, the fake iPhone.
Fake iPhone.
Full on fake.
Yeah. Really nice camera.
I just love that he says, yeah, fake.
Video.
I love the
episode,
poor spelling, wireless.
Facebook,
You see that?
Everything. Yeah, very, very good.
It's just, I mean, folks, it was, I was in there for probably 6 hours, just walking around. And then he's one of a dozen guys that are selling fake iPhones and fake all sorts of shit. It's absolutely bananas.
We got to contact these people. I need to get all my stuff direct.
Yeah. And that's not, and I didn't even show you guys the fake Rolexes and stuff that you can get for like $50. And that's what's even extra funny. They have levels of fake. So like the cheap fake Rolex, you can tell if you know your shit, you can tell that it's fake. But then for like $500, you can get the one that's indistinguishable. Man, oh man, these Chinese guys, man, they really got us licked.
They got us licked?
They got us licked.
I do think Xi has us right where he wants us, and that's over a barrel.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no, I fell over this barrel. Oh no, is that Xi Jinping behind me? Oh no.
He's right behind me, isn't he?
He's right behind me. So, how will this play out? We don't know. That's the other thing real fast.
I think we do know. I think we all know how this is going to play out.
Really? How do you think it's going to play out?
Very poorly for us.
Well, so that's the thing.
There's not going to be a single manufacturing job added. In fact, we might lose some. We already are losing some. Small businesses are being screwed, thrown into turmoil.
Friend of the show, Kate, her clothing company, they manufacture in China. And I want to get her, her and Penelope on the show to talk about it because she said that she's got some loopholes that she may have figured out, but I have no idea what the hell they are. I think it might involve shipping to Mexico and then driving down there and picking it up and bringing it back. That's my guess, but yeah.
I think, did you see the Ray Dalio stuff?
Dude, Ray Dalio's such a kook. What did he say?
He was basically like, well, let's pull it up. He was basically like, I'm not worried about a recession. I'm worried about way worse stuff happening.
Oh, yeah.
I'm worried about war and all this.
I mean, he's been saying that stuff for a long time.
I know, but at this point, I'm like, how does the, I mean.
Maybe the kooks do become correct.
We've clearly, we've been kind of talking about this like nebulous China-America Cold War. And now it's feeling harder and harder to be like, no, we're not actually in one.
Right now, we are at a decision-making point and very close to a recession. And I'm worried about something worse than a recession if this isn't handled well. A recession is 2 negative quarters of GDP, and whether it goes slightly there, we always have those things. We have something that's much more profound. We have a breaking down of the monetary order. We are going to change the monetary order because we cannot spend the amounts of money, so we have that problem. And when we talk about the dollar and we talk about tariffs, we have that. We are having profound changes in our domestic order, how ruling is existing, and we're having profound changes in the world order. Such times are very much like the 1930s. I've studied history, and this repeats over and over again. So if you take tariffs, if you take debt, if you take the rising power challenging the existing power, if you take those factors and look at the factors, those changes in the orders, the systems, are very, very disruptive. How that's handled could produce something that is much worse than a recession, or it could be handled well.
Ray Dalio is, for those of you who don't know, whenever you see those headlines and those ads about like billionaire investor warns about global disaster, that's one thing I want you all to, when I was talking about keeping a sane head, he's one of these types that whenever the market starts to go south just a little bit, that's when he gets more interviews because it gets clicks and it gets views and it gets good ratings because people like to,
Yeah, he said he's worried about something worse than a recession. I think right now we're at a decision-making point and very close to a recession, and I'm worried about something worse than a recession if this isn't handled well.
He talks about cycles, market cycles over decades.
We have a breaking down of the monetary order. We are having profound changes in our domestic order, and we're having profound changes in the world order. Such times are very much like the 1930s. I've studied history, and this repeats over and over again.
Yeah, take it with a grain of salt, I say, because it's easy to compare things to the likes of the 1930s when the world was, it's 100 years ago, when things were way, 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 way different. For so many, I mean, so many different reasons. I don't think that we are, even just the market, I mean, the market couldn't drop that much in a single day. There are so many stop gaps in place to prevent things from breaking. Then again, we've also
had
planes fall out of the sky and shit.
All of the regulations that came after the Great Depression, like all those, Glass-Steagall Act, all those things we put in place because we were like, hey, let's make sure this doesn't happen again. We removed, the Clinton administration, Glass-Steagall out. Like all of this, all of these protections that were on their last legs, Trump has now dismantled. He's got his little Doge broccoli boys getting in there and removing anything, gutting any kind of regulatory committee. So at the same time, I'm like, there's no one with a plan. I don't think, it's also not super helpful to, I do think people are like, well, in 1930 and then this happened and then this happened. Yeah, it's not going to happen just like that. It's going to be something way worse that you couldn't even imagine.
Ray Dalio likes to show charts of like these super cycles, and within each super cycle, there's like these mini cycles and recessions and booms and busts and all that stuff. And I'm always just like, all right, man, I get it, but at the same time, I just don't think that you're right. I don't think that. Maybe that's just the optimist in me.
I don't know anything about his cycles, but I don't think it's. I don't think he's like completely off here. No. That we're having the monetary order is changing and all these trade intricacies are going to be changing.
Well, folks, I think that this is a good place to end it. We'll have a much better time in the bonus episode. Go to benandemilshow.com. where we will be talking about, scroll down. What do we have down there?
I got a really good video for you.
Okay, you got a great video for me.
And I bet you've seen it already because you're a real freak online.
Yeah, probably. We're going to be talking about stinky microphone. What's that? Gay tie guys in the military? All sorts of stuff.
We got to talk about Katy Perry going to space.
Katy Perry going to space.
We thought they were going to leave her up there.
Yeah.
I feel gypped.
I got the eye of the tiger. Can't do any more because YouTube will penalize us. Anyway, thanks for watching. So long, folks.
We love you.
Coming up on this week's episode of benandemilshow.com.
I didn't know that it's not that old. I thought that Coachella was older. I guess 20 years.
I also would have thought it was older than that.
Yeah, 99. It's weird they didn't do it in 2000.
Well, because of 9/11.
9/11 was 2001, buddy.
Well, they knew it was coming, and they said,
"Oh, we're not going to do Coachella next year for 9/11." What's that? You'll find out. You guys
Hey,
will
we're
see.
actually taking this.
You'll see.
We're taking this year off because of 9/11.
One girl was doing flips and stuff, fully naked. Just
if
wild.
you were a stripper, what song would you dance to?
Somebody to Love by Queen.
I would do the national anthem.
I would one up you, do the Pledge of Allegiance. You know what bothers me?
That's not a song. That's not a song.
It's not.
You
That's
haven't
why
won
it's
up
funny.
me. You've won down to
It's
me.
a pledge.
You've won down to me. I don't think you'd make the headlines, pal.
Sure, I would. Anybody blowing up in space is going to make a headline.
But it wouldn't say your name in the headline. It would say like Amazon's Blue Origin rocket explodes.
I'm not.
3 dead.
Where are you getting that I'm putting myself? I'm saying if I were Gayle King,
Oh,
I'd
if you
be
were Gayle
thinking
King.
that's probably what
Yeah,
she
but
was
if
thinking.
you were on the thing.
No, if I was on the thing,
And
I'd
me
be,
as well. There's no way it's saying Emil DeRosa explodes in a,
I'd be
space crash.
yeah.
It's saying
Gayle King. It's like Kobe Bryant. The other people that died on the helicopter, nobody knows.
Exactly.
Yeah. those
Some
poor
dumb
people.
shit dies on the Amazon.
Yeah.
Two dumb
Gayle
shits.
King and two dipshits died today.
Ben and Emil dead, and we're all glad.
Yeah.
Fuck.